Welcome to another edition of Bowie TV's Sports Spotlight. During this hour, we're bringing you highlights from some of our shows focused on all things sports in the DMV. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social platforms. First up on Pitt Sports Zone, Claflin University softball head coach Holden discusses his team's preparation for the 2026 CIAA Tournament. On Baltimore Ravens Update, check out the highlights from Week 1 of Ravens OTAs. Lastly, on Washington Commanders Update, Candi Waller breaks down the Commanders' schedule release for this upcoming season on all Burgundy Gold Errything. Don't go anywhere, and as always, enjoy this week's episode of Bowie TV's Sports Spotlight.
I already know.
Right. But I think that goes kind of what Caitlin was talking about when she was talking about one of the things where she's seen the growth. And I appreciate her for sharing that, because a lot of times, as she was talking, when I think of it, we always get the question, we always get an answer about on field. But off field, like I said earlier, and I think it ties back into when Caitlin said when she's get on the mound, whether they get a hit or not, that's that continuity that they built off the field that transcends to on the field, to where the accountability now comes from different and various places or from self, right? Because now they built that relationship within each other to where they either understand already or, it's one of them where, okay, you missed that one. Like, now let's get the next one.
Yeah.
When we talk about leadership and accountability, who are the voices in your locker room, in addition to Caitlin, who have really stepped up and took that load from you? Because as a coach, I'm sure you give instruction, but you expect the veterans, as we spoke earlier, the veterans to take that next step to where they're really teaching the culture, they're really teaching the things of how the team operates. If you can, if you could just share some of the voices, because Caitlin obviously is one of them, and I would love to get her thoughts on her methods of leadership, whether it's vocally. Some leaders are vocal, some are, hey, I'm just watch. I'm an active leader. So share some of those vocal leaders that you've had throughout this season, Coach.
I think what we have right now this year is, for most teams, we got 3 seniors, 9 juniors on the team. So we got a lot of leadership. When it comes to offense, one of our best hitters on the team is Michaela Camardi. She's sitting there dissecting, hey, you're doing this, you're doing that, because she's a hitter. She's a true hitter. She can see what a batter is doing, but she also know how to feel comfortable. So when she's dug out or she's on deck, she's talking to the players through the situation. When it comes to our defense just talk. They everybody's communicating. Center fielder Lauren Foster talks nonstop. She always talking to the other outfielders, so it don't stop. Like, they're literally talking nonstop. Because that's how we know. That's how me and the assistant coach know something is wrong. Nobody's saying nothing. Like, what's all mentally, because it ain't the game, but we're so used to communicating and talking, because the mentality when we get out there is we're gonna do whatever it takes to win. Like, that's what we know is all communication. So when it comes to situations, when it comes to defense, you gotta talk. You gotta be able to talk. But I think now when it comes to the offensive side that we didn't have last year, it's, hey, I see you doing this. Hey, know the situation. Be selfless. Put the ball down. Like, bunt the ball so we can score. It's all about the scoring and put the pressure on the other team. So, like I said, the defense as a whole, everybody's communicating. The biggest step up I seen when it comes to our offensive side would be Michaela Camardi, because she, like I said, she's a hitter. So she understands what the pitchers are doing. She understands what our batters can and can't do. So, like,
Yeah.
so it's another voice from, again, I'm like, I ain't but so much I can tell you to do. So if you hear from another voice, you might, all right, well, Coach Ricky just not just saying this just so he can have something to say. Like,
Yeah.
I'm the same thing. Like, if I say, hey, you leaning over on the outside pitch, stop leaning over. But Michaela can say, down the side, just swing through the ball, and then we hit the ball. Like, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Okay. But like you said, Caitlin is talking in the dugout. Like, they're talking to each other. You got even the freshmen. One of our freshmen, Amaya Porter, talks. Like, they're cheering, they're loud, they're trying to help out each other, and I think that's the difference this year. Is like everybody is on that one accord when it comes to the game. Like we
Yeah.
want in like when we played against the schools and we went down 5-0. It wasn't no pressure. Like we was like, it's cool. We ain't just hitting the ball yet. We gonna make the adjustment. When we start hitting, it's over with. If you start going to our box scores, you'll see. In that one inning, we have like, and once we own, we own. It's hard to stop, and then once you stop it, we come back. You getting struck out, or you hitting pop up. You trying to come back. We back hitting again, and then we took you out of, and then all the momentum is on our side. So now we got our full staff back of pitching with the whole offense. We get ahead, it's hard to come back because we not finna just let you. We done scored so much. Even when you hit the ball, it's like, all right, cool. All right, hitters hit. Somebody going to eventually hit the ball, but
Right.
we comfortable. It's like, and then they will always tell you, I'm telling you, keep scoring. Don't even let them feel like they belong in this game. Just keep scoring so we can just end the game.
Yeah. Kaylin, your type of leadership style.
Um, I would say I'm kind of quiet but loud when I need to be. Certain people, don't respond to that loud and aggression. So certain people, I'll come to the side and like, hey, you're doing this, and I need to, or I'll just have that one-on-one conversation with them if I know they're having like a lot of times you don't see what I do outside. Like if I know somebody's having a rough time right now and she's down, I'm not gonna sit there and try to get her to pour out what's wrong because I know what's wrong, you
Yeah.
know? So like after the game, after everything's set in stone, I'm gonna text her, make sure they're good, let them know that I'm here if they want to talk. Um, I'm a good listener. I try to listen. If I know something's bothering and it's something like I can't help with, I'll get coach involved. Or if I
Yeah.
have a question of why this person is that, I'll ask coach, what's going on? Does he know? Is there something I can do outside of just softball? Because
Yeah.
I mean, we're girls, we're women going through a lot.
Yeah, and I'm glad you touched on that because Coach shared that the bracelet that you guys wear, and if somebody's not wearing the bracelet, then it can kind of signify the type of day that they're having. Well done. Your players have adapted, to the leadership, to exactly everything that it seems that you poured in, and Caitlin. She said she's quiet, but I can see Caitlin can probably get a little tearful too as well. But when it comes to, you know, the CIAA tournament, which starts in 2 days, championship mindset. When you think about the CIAA tournament, the CIAA championship, what does it take beyond talent to win it, Coach?
Mentality. You got to have the mentality, but you also have to have that team chemistry to know what. As we always say, it's hard to get to the championship. It's hard to keep getting there because everybody we play brings their best. Like
Yeah.
it's like man, like y'all ain't played like this against nobody else, and like where did this come from? So it's like every game now could be a championship team we playing against. So
Mm,
you that mindset, like everybody we have played, it's hey, this is what it could look like in the championship.
yeah.
And of course, hockey, Claflin Bowie. That's what it is. And this year, like we got that split. Like played them early in the season, seen a little bit, seen what we could do, and then them in roundup, just off of mental errors on our side. But even then, we still played a solid game. If you look at the hits, hit them. And it's not that people are out hitting. It's
Yeah.
gotta those little make those adjustments. And I think since that loss, we only had one loss after that.
Mm,
Like it was a good kayak. But before losing this after Bowie, we went on a 14-game winning streak. It was just the mentality. We're gonna show we can dominate. It's not that we competing at the highest level. No, we're dominating at the highest level possible. And if you're gonna beat us, you really just gonna have to beat us. Like we're not folding. We ain't finna make unnecessary errors where you just winning. Like no, we just you gonna win. You gonna win. You gonna. It's
You
not
gonna earn it.
like we ain't finna roll over. It's that mentality, and as we say, we tired of losing.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
And I shared with Coach Powell yesterday, and I said, it has genuinely been Claflin, and I'd be remiss to make it appear that there are no other good teams in the CIAA, right? Because Bluefield State undefeated at home, rolling, Fayetteville State. Then you have your Winston-Salem or Virginia Union. There are teams that have definitely, and like you said, when it comes tournament time, it's always it's like when they say in the NBA, anytime they get the tournament time, it's like everybody got to take a step above, and you're expected to get everybody's best, right? So Caitlin, how are you mentally physically preparing for Thursday's CIAA start of the tournament?
I would say just understanding that my team is got my back. Where if I'm struggling on the mound, they're gonna get them extra hits. Where I have some fluff, I want to say, where
Yeah,
I can, miss my one or two spots, but they're gonna field the ball. They're gonna get the ball. They're gonna get those outs. Where it's not just on my shoulders. I want to say.
yeah. What would it mean for the program? Because, like you said, last year, for the last 4 years, it's been Claflin and Bowie consistently. What would it mean for the program to not just compete, but win the CIAA championship this year, Caitlin?
I mean, it's just it's a time that's it's bound to happen. It's going to happen. Like Coach Ricky said, it's gonna happen. We're gonna do it. So we're gonna do it.
Yeah, speaking into existence, Coach.
To me, it gives my team everything they deserve. Like this class been together since their freshman year, and their freshman year they played in the championship. Then sophomore year championship. This is their junior year, and it's clicking like 100% clicking. So it's like, hey, we understand the mental side of it because we always had the athleticism side of it. We always felt that athleticism, we're better than. Um, some teams have good people here and there, but as a whole, we always felt we was the better team on paper. But as you say, what you meet athleticism, what you get, what you come out with. So it's the mentality part. So now it's like we mentally understand, we mentally know how to deal with it. We mentally know that the umpires is gonna be umpires. Like we know it's coming. Just how can we fight through it? So we
Yeah,
fight through it as a team. One of us feel away, we all feel away. Like it's okay. Like you're gonna throw the whole team out. It's just because they're gonna have each other back, and that's
yeah,
just the reality. Is like we're gonna do whatever it takes to win. Like that's just where we at with it. And just like I said, we've been playing as this could be the championship because every team we played against in the roundup, you're gonna play against one of them to go to the championship and play into the championship. So that's the reality of like we changed it, said we don't want to just compete at the highest level. We want to dominate at the highest level. We done competing. We're
yeah,
coming from, like I think me personally, it gives them everything feel they deserve and they have worked for it. It's like a lot of stuff. Like I never told them that we was on that win streak. I ain't want to bring it up. It's just we just keep winning. I didn't bring it up until the national rankings. They watched this. This would be the first time they realized we nationally ranked in 8 categories. We got 5 players that's nationally ranked in the top 100 in different categories. It's just the work is speaking for itself.
yeah,
Just what we're doing. We don't have to brag about it. We don't have to say, "Oh, look at us doing this. Look at us doing that." Like it's cool. You'll see it because
yeah,
that's yeah. We post on our social media, but everything we post, somebody else posted it for us. We ain't creating a post. We don't need to create the grammar. Like everybody is doing it for us. Claflin did this. Yeah, we did. Let me reshare your post. We don't have to make the post. The girls are doing everything they're supposed to do to get those accolades, and that's been the mentality. On top of, we still got one of the days. Caitlin is a 4.0 been in college.
Congratulations.
So it's
Thank you.
we have that. Like we push all levels of being a student athlete. The
Yeah.
main thing I'm worried about is like, Coach Ricky, we got finals this week. What are we? Well, how are we gonna do it? I'm saying to the provost, like, hey, my girls are athletes, but they still want to do their work. They want to keep their GPA. Like they always talk about, like, I'm that coach too. I push the GPA. Like I want to win the GPA award every year.
Yeah.
And dominate on the field. So we beating you in the class. That's hard. Like you win the championship and you got the academic award.
Now that's amazing because one thing or one of the misnomers when it comes to HBCUs are that um, it's always about athletics. It's never about the education. Primarily, that's not the focus of a student athlete, right? So when I do see the feeds, whether it's Winston Salem or Claflin or Fayetteville State or Bowie or Howard or Norfolk State, I reshare all the time because I definitely love to push. I love to push the athletic side, but I share an extra emphasis when it comes to the academics because that's one of the things where I feel that we get a slight on when it comes to academics. So good shout out to you, Caitlin, for excelling both on the field and off the field.
Thank you.
Yeah. Coach, last question, right? Legacy and bigger picture. Years from now, what do you want people to say about how this team finished the season?
I would say go back to our motto: our time, our turn. It's just what it is. It's that's we've been working hard for it. I switched up what our practice focus will be. Um, we work on so much that I feel like this is what is going to get us over that hump.
Yeah,
And they bought into it. Of course, it's pushback. It's always pushback, but
absolutely.
it's like when you start seeing that it works, you're like,
Right.
ah, because it's hard to deny winning. It's just
Yeah.
it's hard. It's like, all right, well, whatever he got, whatever he wants to come up with, is working. We're winning, so let's just buy into it because now it's all there. But now it's like, all right, we went through the season, through the conference, through the South undefeated. We're going to the tournament, #1 seed in the South. This is what's been working, and we're gonna stick with it. So when it comes to the legacy, it's like taking that core of saying we started off as freshmen. We had our bumps in the road. We did freshman things. Came in sophomore, we learned a little bit more, but we still wasn't fully there. Their junior year, like, yeah, we did it. We accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. Like, and we're not stopping until we accomplish that. So it's just looking at it and say, yeah, we start here, but this is our goal, and we ain't stopping until we get to the end goal. Like, we gotta finish it and just complete the mission. Um, and it's more so of that's why I really, even when we played Winston-Salem State, I knew going to Winston-Salem State, we was the Southern Division champs. I knew when we beat Fayetteville. I did not tell the team. In their mind, we needed to win against Winston. Played at a
Yeah.
high level, then I told them. But they was already Southern Division champs. But I
No.
didn't want to not finish the mission of going undefeated in the South.
Right.
So it's like holding that in, but also being able to celebrate them because I want them to get the accolades they deserve, they work for. Like it, as I say, when it comes to stats, they speak for themselves. They
Absolutely.
put them up against each other. Everybody else, they speak for themselves. And there's nothing you can deny. You just see it. Knowing on the back end what I see day in day out of the work they put in, how they connect together, the stories I hear about when they hanging out, like all that is there. Like they don't, I be listening to them, what they're doing, stuff like that. So it's like, all right, now it's getting to a baseline all on one accord. Like they just good. Like we don't like each other all the time, but it's like, all right, when we need to like each other, we locked in. This is
Yeah.
what the overall goal is. Like that. That's the legacy. Is like, all right, they gonna send out the seniors with a ring. Like the juniors gonna be like, yep, we earned 100%. We worked for this from our freshman year to this year, and just sticking together and just building that family softball side
Yeah.
of it. Because as you say, when you got that trust on the field, that's why Caitlin said, if I miss, I trust them to make the play.
Right.
You can still own up that I missed the spot, but even if I miss and they hit the ball, I know
Right.
my defense back because yeah, like that's what is gonna happen because they in the right place. We work over this stuff like because those some base hits, some hitters is gonna hit, but if we can take away one, that's even better because we know she's gonna give us the other two. They're gonna be handed to us. We take away one is always get you in a better situation. So just having my team and buying into what the situation is, buying into the system and just believing in the process because it's a long process. Just sitting there, like it goes days where I question, like, is this gonna work? Is it gonna work? And I just keep sitting there. I'm like, man, hey, trust yourself, trust your gut.
Yeah.
If it's a good feeling, make it happen.
Yeah.
You
Trust.
phase of the offseason program with OTAs. Super exciting time for us. You know, it's really 6 weeks in for the vets, a couple weeks in for the rookies. You really get a chance to kind of take what we've been learning, put it out into action, get some real reps, really compete against yourself, really compete against the standard that you're trying to create for yourself on a consistent basis. That's the main thing. Try to avoid the one-on-one competition, the OD competition, but also get reps and get better by doing it. So love the guys' attitude, love the guys' work ethic. We've had unbelievable off-season program so far, and open up for questions.
So who came up with the medicine ball competition? Is there an official name for the competition?
Well, we in practice every day with the at our best when our best is needed, period. And so that could be anything. That could be anything different. Today we decided to do a little friendly competition. Right now you can't really do like the football competition, and so thought it would be something different, something fun. Try to get guys to not know what's about to happen and answer the bell when their number's called. And as simple as that, that's really all we're trying to get done with that and make it fun. Have the guys pull for each other. Love the energy there. It was a clean sweep by the offense today.
Pretty disappointing for the defense to go 0-3.
Yeah, it's all right. Stuff happens, and I thought the practice there was a lot of good stuff on both sides, but certainly fun there.
Because with the understanding is voluntary, guys communicate with you ahead of time and let you be a heads up.
Yeah, these guys have been unbelievable. One of our, probably our first meeting, the main topic was just about relationships and communication, and the guys that have had to be out for a day for whatever, had to be out for a day or two for something going on. Communication's been unbelievable. Know where everybody's at, know when they're going to be back, and just super excited about the way that's headed with that piece of it.
Do you expect that Lamar would be here later this week or next week? Or what's the communication been like?
Yeah, Lamar's been one of our leaders of the off-season program, and a couple things going on yesterday and today, and do expect him to be back soon. We've had some great conversations. Know when he's going to be back, and again, I'll probably leave those between me and Lamar.
What's it like going down there to see
just a chance, like a very quick, brief interaction to sort of meet in person, face to face, say hello. Nothing really more than that, and just love every chance that we get to spend together. We've had a lot of good meetings together, talking through things, and so all those interactions, build what you hope to be obviously a long-standing, great relationship, and certainly headed in the right direction.
What are you seeing from Vanga as he transitions into some of these full team workouts, and why are you excited about your position?
Yeah, Vanga's a beast. In these drills, again, it's very, the O-line and D-line have to work really well together. You're really trying not to be super physical. You're trying not to be violent. You're trying not to necessarily win the rep. You're trying to kind of give each other a really good look. He's done a great job understanding that. He's picked up on everything probably way faster than I would expect a rookie to at any position, I would say. And man, he's got a really bright future, but the best thing about him is just how hard he works and how serious he takes his craft. And so every day he does something, he comes back, it's a little bit better the next day. And so he's, again, the epitome of the draft class, in that sense, and the type of guy you want on the offensive defensive line.
Saw Pinter out there at center running with the first team. What do you like from him, and also just what are you seeing out of the center group as a whole heading through this offseason?
Yeah, that's going to be one where you may see somebody different out there every day. Not necessarily a depth chart competition at this point. I would say more of a rotation piece to make sure guys know where they're at. They get the same amount of reps. They get to run the different schemes. And he's done a great job. He's got some experience. He's played in some similar schemes. Javon as well. Corey's done a great job. All three of those guys, the whole idea of the offseason is to put yourself in position to compete for the job in training camp. And I think all three of those guys are doing that.
With Hibner, you spent some time with him obviously early on in Michigan, and what's impressed you about his development and growth since you were with him in Michigan to now obviously his growth in the Ravens?
Yeah, the cool thing there was his role, I guess, as a young player at Michigan. He was played on all four special team player. Our offense was a tight end heavy offense there. And so there was a lot of inline blocking, a lot of pull blocking, those types of things. And I thought, to me, the coolest thing was to go see him in a spread offense flex out, make a bunch of plays catching the ball. He always had like really good straight line speed and really good hands and body control. So to be able to kind of see him, you be able to utilize that within the scheme that he was in. He was obviously at Michigan. We had, I mean, maybe the craziest loaded tight end room in the history of college football. A.J. Barner and Colson Loveland, ahead of him on the depth chart. And so, I think he did a great job in his role there, but it was really cool to see him kind of go be a featured piece in the offense there at SMU.
So, how much pride does the offense take in that best, to be the best drill where you've seen the defense do all the push-ups?
I mean, we take pride in anything we do around here, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's how it is for both sides. But, obviously when it comes to competition, we're going to try to do our best to, win.
John, you primarily played left guard in your career. What's your perspective as a veteran potentially switching to the right side versus a rookie like Vanga switching from the left side where he played primarily in college?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm here to win some games. And like no matter where they put him at, my job is to go out there and compete. So wherever they want to put me at.
In terms of technique, do you feel like it's like a big switch or a smaller switch?
I mean, switching positions is going to be tough for anybody, but like I said, I'm here to win games.
What are your first impressions of Vanga? Obviously, tremendous draft pick and a lot of high potential, but what do you like about what he does?
Yeah, he's one of those guys that just he sits back there and just soaks everything in. He's not a real loud vocal guy yet. I think that'll come with time and experience. But he's one of those guys that sit back there and just like observes everything, and he kind of like soaks it all up like a sponge almost. He's really intelligent for sure.
Is he calling you big dog?
Nah, that's between him and coach.
John, how did you coming back to Baltimore kind of come together?
I mean, well, my agent called me and told me that this was like an option, and for me it was a no-brainer. Just being in this environment and being around these people, being in this organization is just something that I feel like one just shouldn't turn down.
John, along those lines, your first time around here, you were kind of trying to get your career back on track and get back into a starting job. What did it mean for you knowing that this team underwent a lot of change with the interior O-line and still is, that they targeted you and said, hey, we want you to come back, we want you to be a starter and be a big part of that?
No, I mean, it means a whole lot. And it, like for them to want me to come here and kind of like, just like help this organization out, it's huge. Because this is such a great organization. I respect everybody up there in the front office, and I appreciate them for bringing me back for sure.
How do you think Coach Claflin can help them continue to progress?
I think I said this in an interview I had on the podcast, but I think he's a really, really great coach, and I think he's a really good teacher, more so than anything. And he takes his time to like slow things down and really teach it. I feel like how it should be taught, and he breaks it down to the smallest little details, just so you can understand it and so you can play faster. And I think that'll help me out a whole lot, just so I can get out there and know exactly what I got, know my assignment, and just play ball.
John, obviously, when you bring a new coaching staff in, you're going to undergo a lot of changes, whether that's systematic or culture-based. Comparatively to your first go-around here in Baltimore, what have you noticed, at least in the first couple of weeks here, difference-wise in culture specifically, between that coaching staff and this coaching staff?
I feel like the culture is what the culture is here, and I feel like that part didn't really change much. I feel like it's gonna be a family here. They're gonna expect you to work hard, and that's how football should be. So I feel like the culture didn't really change much as far as that goes.
I think a lot of guys in the offensive line room who are coming back, including Ryan, including Roger, probably feel like there were some things left on the table last year. This issue. I mean, do you get a sense from guys who are returning that there's a bit of a chip on their shoulder, trying to prove that they're better than they showed last year?
Oh, most definitely. But I feel like that with any offensive line, you go in like if a team didn't win the Super Bowl last year, then they got a chip on their shoulder. So I feel like every year you got to come in with that chip on your shoulder just to try to prove that you belong in this league. So.
And do you notice there's more participation in obviously to look at this summer than maybe any of those we were in Baltimore, and if so, do you attribute that to just wanting to get on the same foot as this new coaching staff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know too much about participated last time I was here or now. But I would guess that's a part of it. These guys just want to like buy in and learn as much as they can and soak up all the information so we can go out there and play fast.
Coach Ledford talked about how he has to instill really attacking mentality with the offensive line, almost like you're playing D-line when you're attacking. What does that do for an offensive line, and how much do you guys think about that mentality?
No, I mean I think that's like as far as like the trenches go, and I kind of talked about this before, but as far as the trenches go, I feel like that's like the main priority is just like imposing your will on the person in front of you, and that's since day one. That's what he's been drilling in our head. It's just speed off the ball, and I bring this up all the time. Speed off the ball, speed off the ball, speed off the ball, and I like that. It just creates so much more hesitation from the defense in a sense. So I think that's his mindset behind us coming off the ball fast, getting lined up fast, and stuff like that.
So, what's kind of your first impression of Justin Mitchell?
Guy that's hungry. Wanted that one opportunity and present himself to the advantage of it. Excited to be here. Excited to get to work. Put the work in so we get the results we need.
What's the vibe? Is there a different change in vibe with the different coaching staff coming in? A lot of unfamiliar faces.
No, I think they're just trying to put a culture out here. Culture that they want to set, represent, to work towards every day. And wants to come in, be coachable, and work hard.
Derek, how much time have you had being able to talk to Coach Doyle about sort of his vision for the scheme, and in what ways do you think your skill set and your way to benefit from everyone else on the offense?
I think right now that we all just trying to learn everything and learn each other. Everything is so new, but also coach each and every day like a pro, and come out here and work. Just be detailed in the meetings. It's everything I said before. Not so much about scheme, but studying, learning, putting in the work every day, letting it show. Come out here trying to make each other better, hold each other accountable, all of the things we do as a teammate and a team, and then continue to build on those things. Not so much scheme and how I see you, how I see this. Stepping out and being the best player you can be and work hard you can. That shows the coaches.
Do you think change like that, change at the top 10 would be good for a veteran team?
Yeah. Change can be good. We're all excited for everything. Everything is new, so we're all trying to learn, but also enjoying it, taking it day by day, not trying to get too overwhelmed. Just be present.
Derek, you said Jesse and the staff are trying to build their own culture, right? What do you think that looks like and that's going to feel like?
Yeah, I think just being the best, shooting to be the best every single day. Some days we're better than others, but just keeping that same mindset. Be your best when your best is needed, and that's in meetings, in the weight room, when we're conditioning, and then most importantly on the field, all three phases. Being your best when your best is needed, and sometimes throughout the offseason we have to pull up a teammate, I'm sure coaches as well, but just trying to be the best each and every day that I go through the offseason.
Derek, that quote that you said about being at your best when your best is needed, that's something that Justin Miller even said to us. I remember at his introductory press conference. Is that something that you feel like was a big deal for you guys? That's something that you maybe weren't as great at before that you want to put an emphasis on now?
I mean, it's football. Some years will be better than others, and like you said, we got new coaching staff, so we're just trying to help Jesse build that culture amongst each other and by the way we work, and keep that mindset each and every day.
Who's Adam Randall? Has he impressed you thus far? What has struck you? Do you work with him, or is a fellow tall running back?
Yeah, big guy.
Yeah. What are your impressions?
I play receiver. I watched him a little bit in college. He's a good player. since he's got here, just been working. Keeping his head down, working, teaching every day, wanting to learn, just wanting to get better. That's all you want as a rookie. I'm always going to be here to help him in any way I can, but just love his approach every day to come to work.
As a veteran now for your approach, your work ethic, your adherence to your routines and your conditioning. When you start, in off season, do you try to find ways to reinvent it for yourself? I mean, do you ever look to like change things up or freshen up, or is this part of the year sort of your bread and butter, just getting back into the season?
Probably just a little bit hard getting out of bed, touching my toes a little bit. It's the same approach. I love putting the work in, positioning, being in the weight room, being around guys, putting the work in the off season. But on this time, just really get to tune up everything, make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and then when training camp comes around, we're rolling. The off season, just putting the work in as much as you can so the results fall.
So you talk.
All right, here's the rundown. Like Glenn mentioned, we're going to be talking about the newly released Commander schedule, and we're going to talk about, we'll have Candi here to help us talk about rookie minicamp, some of what's the word on these streets, what folks talking about these rookies, how they looking, who looks like they them or they the ones. So anyway, let's get right into it. So, hey Glenn, let's get us into this like newly released schedule that everyone is hyped about.
Definitely. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. A newly released schedule for the Washington Commanders. It is Washington Commanders top with the Philadelphia Eagles on September the 13th. Then go to the Dallas Cowboys on September the 20th. First home game against the Super Bowl champions, Seattle Seahawks, on September the 27th. Then they go to then they also have the Indianapolis Colts, which is the international game in London, which is on October the 4th. The New York Giants on October the 11th. The San Francisco 49ers on October the 19th. They didn't have a bye week, which I'm happy about. No longer week 14 bye week or week 16 a bye week. Then they play the Philadelphia Eagles on November the 11th, which is a Sunday night football game. Then the Los Angeles Rams. Then the New York Football Giants on November the 12th. The Cincinnati Bengals, which is the Monday night game, on November the 23rd. The Cardinals on November the 29th. The Tennessee Titans on December the 6th, the Houston Texans on December the 13th, the Atlanta Falcons, which is the home game, on December the 20th. The day after Christmas, the Minnesota Vikings on the 26th of December, the Jacksonville Jaguars on the 2nd of January, and the Dallas Cowboys either on January 9th or January 10th, depends on scheduling and how the NFL wants to flex that game. As we mentioned, this team is built different, and this team is built to win. Raise hell, all hail the Washington Commanders.
Oh yeah, so yeah, a lot to dive in with the schedule. It's a lot, man. It's a lot to dive into the schedule. So but first though, Candi, I want to get your thoughts on the schedule release. And what stood out to you?
I mean, hey, I guess within the first 2 weeks, you're gonna find out what the division looked like.
Exactly.
You're going to know exactly what the division looks like. And then you don't, as per usual, you don't see, everybody doesn't see each other again until a little bit, sprinkled out here and there and at the end. But 2 division games off the rip.
Yeah.
And then the Super Bowl champs. That's rough. That's rough. I was surprised to see that.
Okay.
Once I was aware, I was kind of like, and they gonna put the Seahawks after 2 division games with the Commanders. Why? Like, is it like that? Okay. Who's that for? Maybe is it for an easy win for Seattle based on what happened last year, or like it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course going up, across the pond, week 4, and then it's right back into the division again.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, this is a little tight. This is it. This is hard. Yeah. This is going to be difficult, to say the least. This is tough. 2 division games, the Super Bowl champions, international game, then the Giants. So you will literally know within the first 5 weeks of the season where you stand in the division.
Yeah.
You'll know.
Yeah.
Right? And so those 5 weeks are critical. 3 of those 5 are for sure critical. Maybe, who wants to go across the pond and host an international game and then lose? Nobody wants to do that. But those division games, those 3 out of 5, that's tough. And then after that, what is it? Week 6 is San Francisco conference game, and then it's a bye. They're gonna need a bye. They're gonna need a bye in week 7. Now I made a joke. Some people probably have seen it by now. Like, oh, this is how I know the Lord loves me, because their bye is the same week as Hampton's homecoming, and that like never happens to me.
That's hilarious.
I be dying in the press box. It is not good for me. Those games. So I think everybody, you said I be like on my bed. I be like on my Whitney Hutton. It's sad. I be thinking I look good and I don't. I look bad. So I look like what I've been through. And so,
hey, Ms. Waller.
Oh, hey, Ms. Waller.
Hey, hi, Mama
Let
Waller.
me clean up the conversation about how I am on homecoming. Let me clean that.
Yeah, clean it up. Mama Waller in the building.
Mama knows.
Yeah, she probably like, my child. But yeah. So, but then you come right back after the bye and you got to see Philly.
Yes.
So it's like this is hard. The whole entire literally within the first 2 months of the season, you could really know whether this is it, whether this is over. Seriously. I mean, even though we kind of all knew last year when it was over, but it's like legit, like this is not it. You will know where you measure up within the division first 2 months. And like I said, those first 5 weeks, like I already knew she's probably like, so, it was that it's woo. So I stopped after that, other than the Minnesota game. If everybody must know why I melted down, it's because the only thing I've been saying, okay, I got my wish in Arizona, thanks. But I knew it had to be something because nobody responded when I would be like, well, as long as Minnesota isn't in December, and it would be like then I would be like, well, I don't want to go to Dallas. And they'd be like, well, you probably go there. It was always a response, but it was never a response. And I was like, there's no way they put Minnesota in December. And you put it after Christmas? Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
And that was the weather. It's a beautiful establishment. It really is. But
you can get around that city without having to go outside, right?
Well, this is what we learned when we were there last time. We thought that, but no, it's not quite true. Because all these skywalks, who closes the skywalks on the weekend? Who does that?
Yeah. The best city for that, the best city to do that in without going outside is really Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Indianapolis is the best city that you can go do. All these skywalks can take you right to the stadium.
And it's open all the time.
I want to get to George. George, what are your thoughts on when you look at the schedule?
I hate starting with division games. I hate starting the season with a division game. And to start with 2 is kind of even worse because, look, if you're 0-2 in your division after 2 weeks, you are in a hole, and the chances of you climbing out are not high. Of course, if they win them both, I will be doing this show, whether it's the Thursday or the pregame show, singing "Believe It or Not, I'm Walking on Air." I will be celebrating like a crazy person. I will be literally floating on air if they're 2-0. But given this team's struggles early in the season, which we've seen certainly the last 2 years, and I'm looking through the record now to see how it's been, but we've not had a great record the last 10, 15 years in opening games after being, at least in this century, very good at the start. I'm not loving that. I'm not loving because I want my division. I don't like it when they backload the division games, but starting with the division game is really tough, and 2 of them is really tough.
They split the last 2 years, right?
What you mean, the first year? Yeah, first start, yeah. 1-1.
Yeah, they lost in Tampa, and then they won against the Giants. But you could argue in both cases, neither performance was very good.
But the first tenure, I mean, the first year of the regime was other than the loss, they were good in the beginning of the season. So I mean, but I know you're right. Track record is you're right in terms of like the last some odd years. Like if you want to go more than a 2-year sample size in terms of the organization, you are right. Traditionally, this team does start slow. I'm just saying, like in the first year, you can talk about how games go and how they play, but in terms of wins and losses, but a lot of teams start slow. To be honest with you, to be totally fair, a lot of teams start off real sloppy the first 2-3 weeks.
Well, and that's the other thing. There better not be no club DQ, we're going to not play our starters one series. There better be none of that this year. You better be ready up in Philadelphia, because then you know what they're going to be hearing for the next several months is what's going on with Jalen Hurts. Don't you believe in Jalen Hurts? Oh, you got rid of AJ Brown. Oh, is the championship window closing? They're gonna have something to prove, and they're gonna have a little bit of
definitely.
Their teeth are gonna be grinding a little bit going in that first game against Washington. They're gonna want to show something.
I agree. So I'm gonna go to you, Glenn. Your thoughts on the schedule as well, man.
When I first saw the schedule, the first thing that came to my mind was how many of these teams made the playoffs last year? Because I looked at the schedule and I was like, man, it's 7 of the teams were playoff teams last year. When I looked at the schedule, I'm like, man, this is the schedule. But I'm kind of on the same page with Deluxe, new team, new season.
That's what I agree.
Everything is new coordinators, right? Everything's new. But I will say this: the first 5 games are pivotal for this organization. Not this organization, but for Dan Quinn, for Adam Peters, for Jaden Daniels, right? Yeah. For everybody, these first 5 games are going to let you know where the Washington Commanders are at, right? Because what happens here in these first 5 games, they're divisional. Majority of them are divisional games, so you don't want to put yourself in a hole in this divisional game. That means if you lose 4 games, you're 0-4 in the division. I mean, in the conference. Conference games, right? So you don't want that. Only conference game is not is the Indianapolis Colts. So you want to be able to have that. And Dan Quinn, George, you said it. I think I sent you guys a text earlier. Training camp and preseason games are pivotal for this team to gel together, right? You have the new offense, you have the new defense. You have to be able to have these guys play and work together. I'm to the point that you can't protect Jaden in the preseason. He needs as many reps as he can get in this offense, and they need to be able to work together. So looking at this, just looking at the schedule, it's the 16th toughest schedule in the league, believe it or not, as you look at it. But the Washington Commanders have to come out fast. They don't have room for too many errors. And I think Candi, what really also caught my eye was that you go to London. Usually after you do the international game, you have a bye the next week. That's what they don't have one. Yeah. So you got to talk about the 6-hour flight, 7-hour flight from DC or Reagan, probably Reagan, to go to London. After they finish the London game, hop back on a flight, have a day off, come back. That week is going to be grueling because they don't have that bye week the way that normally the international team does. So it's going to be difficult.
Yeah,
so
It's weird how they doing the international games because even like the Rams and they going to Australia. They don't have a bye, because they don't start the buys until like week 5.
Money.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys don't have an early bye either.
Yeah.
Well, after they go to Brazil, but like
that Australia flight is grueling, man.
If they go 0-2, the fan base is gonna lose it. If they go 0-2, the fan base is not. Everybody just go ahead and admit it. It's not gonna go over well. I already know this. We already know. They go 0-2. And they're going into the game against Seattle because that's the first thing I thought about. I was like, "Oh dear God, you what? Do you remember? Does everybody remember what happened last year when they played?
I do. I do.
So, I don't even want to see Seattle that early.
0-3 going to London.
And that was at home. That was in front of the home crowd. It was quite embarrassing. And so then you go to London to play Indianapolis, and if God forbid it's 0-3, then it'd be crazy. You know what I mean? That home energy internationally is not where it's at, and so your best case scenario is that they go into that 2-1, right? But like 0-2, it's just not. It's just, and I'm sure each team is saying that. So even going into the whole, everybody has something to prove. Here's some in all of those things. Here's something that I'm going to be looking for, right? It's with this regime, 2024 success, I will always say it's much like other teams that we saw last year. Whenever you have a new head coach, new coordinators, nobody knows what you're doing. So everything is new, right? And even to a degree, Jaden may even be a little new to people because he had an incomplete season last year, right? That's how we're all permanent now. They're incomplete. So you might have the luxury of that again, where the newness is surprising to folks. And so it's like looking at their opponent, okay, who has new coordinators? But when you go back to the storyline of the Jalen Hurts, the storyline of a Dak Prescott, here's the reality. Some of these quarterbacks who have been in the league, historically been in the league, won or not, they have a lot to prove with their respective teams this season.
Yeah. I agree. So I do want to add. So I do want to say this. What I like about. So I'll give you my 2 cents on the schedule. I actually kind of like the schedule, and I'm gonna tell you why I like the schedule, because it lets you. I think you all said it, but I'm all about if you expect this team to be where they need to be at, you ain't ducking nobody. It ain't going. I don't care where it happens, when it happens. You playing them regardless. If you are the team that everybody thinks what people think they are and hope for them to be, you playing who you gotta play. If you want this team to be a Super Bowl contender team, you should play Seattle. You should. Like, you shouldn't duck the smoke. That means if you have a fear that